Good morning, everybody. Good morning, ladies, and good morning, Samson. Happy New Year to everybody, and we thank God for making it possible for us all to come in here on such a positive note. I want to say a very big thank you to each and every member of the National Democratic Congress, to the President-elect, and to all our leaders who've led us to battle and to such a successful end of that campaign. So thank you, everybody, and may God actually help us to govern in ways that will be pleasing to the eyes and minds of the good people of Ghana who have made this win possible. You know, Samson, I watched these scenes a few days ago. It actually really broke my heart. And you know, like Fatima said, for all of us young children whose mothers literally spent many days and hours traversing these markets, it brings it actually home to you in ways that you cannot even imagine. It is heart-wrenching, really, really sad to watch the spectacle. And you see, it also speaks to how our very underprivileged in our society are left, you know, to wallow in such squalor, to live in this market for all these years, you know. And remember that that particular catchment area, that enclave, is actually a demarcated railway section of our country, you know. Right. And for years, this place has been heavily populated, not even just by displaced persons, if you know what I mean. These are regular, ordinary members of our society who eke out a living, literally day in, day out. It is a market that literally never sleeps. And believe you me, those stalls are also homes to these people. And you listen to a gentleman who spoke about all the children who were born, bred, and raised in this environment. You know, these are members of our society that it appears that through all the pomp and pageantry, through all the partisanship and all the political conversations, we have literally forgotten that we ought to focus on uplifting them. You know, there's been this plan for years to enhance and modernize our markets. It's been going on for a while, but I think it is a process that is actually not as quick as it should be. You know what I mean? I think that this actually calls for a very, 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 very good debate. And I hope that Parliament will take this very seriously. Everybody has spoken about the devastation, spoken about how tragic this is, about the livelihoods that are lost, about, of course, the fact that, look, clearly there can be no insurance of any of these things. You and I know the processes that lead up to being able to insure your wares. It must actually be a proper structure. It must be in a legitimately designated marketplace. It must also be a lawfully designated area for such business to thrive. So you and I know that no insurance will even go there and insure any of these businesses. I believe a lot of monies have been lost because most of these people actually spoke about how they no longer go to the banks because they don't trust the banking system anymore. You heard the gentleman speak about how bad the economy is and the fact that this is all their lives.
Some have actually left their monies in their shops and they were bent. I saw
notes that were totally bent out. You can't tell what the quantum really is. We can't even begin to actually calculate what has been lost in this inferno. My heart goes out to the many young children who have now been left with no shelter. Imagine what facilities you need even to rehouse and resettle these numbers that we've seen. I pray that our leaders will take this as a wake-up call, that immediately from here, something ought to be done beyond paying lip service to what is required. You know, Samson, it is why when my sister mentioned the Millennium Compact, I thought to myself, yes, it brings back memories about the PDS issue and how those monies were literally siphoned away by persons who should know better. It is for these reasons that Ghanaians went to the polls to elect a new leadership. And I pray that we don't let people down. Expectations are very high. I told my boss a few days ago that this must actually be the model for his conversations around enhancing markets in Ghana. If it means going back to the drawing boards, if it means redemarcating the area, to be certain that these are portions of this land that we intend to designate at sustainable markets, then certainly so be it, so that we can start to provide something that will augment, at least soften the hardships on these people.
Talking about the compact, we lost it, and President-elect has been saying that he's making attempts to see if we can get it back to assist. So you're hopeful?
Yes, very hopeful. You know, fortunately, I was actually in the meetings with the Undersecretary of State in the United States of America, where these conversations took place. They've actually made some requests. They want some guidelines to be taken. They want to look at the power sector and how we can at least, you know, reposition. Don't forget that all these power distribution companies now are literally very weak. You know the challenges with the Electricity Corporation of Ghana. You know the challenges with the power supply system and all of that. Even the debt owed to the independent power producers.
We'll come to speak about the energy sector.
Things, absolutely. So, yes, there's a very positive outlook. And, you know, once there's a new government in place, new conversations are taking place.
All right.
And you heard the U.S. ambassador in Ghana to speak very hopefully about the fact that when you judge by the challenges we have with power distribution, look at the wiring in that place.
Right.
So that, you know, beyond arson, beyond the suspicions, chances are this could actually just be something that triggered it. And so it happened in the Ashanti region, if you remember. And it's happened across the country over the years. My heart goes out to all of these people. And
Quick question to you, and same will go to Fatima, because the president says that they would look at providing the needed support. We would like you to explain what needed support is, Fatima. And also, Joyce, the president-elect has indicated that there's a team that is supposed to, you know, check what is going on. So he will do what with that? Yes, so beginning with you, Joyce. Yeah.
Yes, certainly. Look, I know that Mr. Mahama has always been very concerned about our market structures across the country. I know that every effort was made to improve these markets and to enhance them. I know that what has happened here happened in Makola not too long ago. We saw similar scenes, except I think the devastation was not really as widespread as this one is. I mean, look at this is a complete slum. It just cries for the fact this is not sustainable on any level, that you cannot continue to allow people to exist in this very, you know, harrowing manner in these circumstances. I have personally spoken to Mr. Mahama, and I know that this is a matter very close to his heart. Don't forget that Mrs. Mahama herself actually had shops in these markets, some of them, Makola and Malata, for example, and has remained very closely associated with these environments. He has assured us of one thing, that the market enhancement projects will start immediately. And the team is supposed to actually go on a reconnaissance, actually, to visit these environments and find out just what we can do, because they're also heavily populated.
That's right.
Building within persons who are already in existence is not always easy. But these days, we have also experts who know how to even develop these very busy environments, even while the people still go about their normal business. I know the team will come out with a very good report. I know that Kantamanto will probably kickstart his journey towards leading the country into at least some momentary hopefulness. And I believe that people are expectant and looking forward. I mean, 12 years ago, they were given 300 Ghana cedis. I mean, 12 years later, 300 Ghana cedis, it sounds like a pittance.
But that was money, you know, at the time.
At the time, exactly. So I think that beyond giving them some stipends and maybe some shelter, I believe that the long-term thing really is to reconstruct.
And the leader we heard has a posture that is very commendable.
I like that too, yes.
He kept repeating that they want to help themselves.
Yes.
Right. So